You know what, guys? I think I'm going to go insane. This has just been eating at me. I know it's only been 1 day since the Vancouver Canucks ended their season, but, man, the draft lottery is tomorrow, and I'm here. It's lunchtime, and I have homework. I didn't finish my journalism interview podcast that's due on Tuesday. I still need to do my marketing campaign research and essay for my documentary podcast. That's due later today at 11:59 p.m., so I'm gonna have to start that. I didn't start that yet, but I'm kind of cracking down, guys. I think everything that we've been doing with Why I Want and the prospects and all that, it's just culminating into what we have now. This is a Why I Want on Kaapo Kakko, and this and tomorrow's video, which is going to be on Jack Hughes, these two videos are gonna just be me pleading to the hockey gods that we actually win a lottery. Oh my goodness. We only have like a 15% chance of winning either 1, 2, or 3. We have a 15% chance of getting a top 3 pick. If you have 100 balls in a box and you put your hand in and you pull out one random ball that is labeled from 1 to 100, 15 out of those 100 balls will be top 3 picks. And oh boy, it's not good odds, but hey man, if it was a casino game, those would be pretty good odds. The Vancouver Canucks will most likely draft around like 9 or maybe 12, who knows, but please, 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 I want Kaapo Kakko, I want Jack Hughes, I want a top pick. This is why I want a Kaapo Kakko, guys, and if you need me to explain what this series is, please, I mean, go to the other videos. This one's not for that. Kaapo Kakko is a more high-profile, high-star power player that more people know about than guys like Cole Caulfield and all that. Kaapo Kakko is the best Finnish player in this draft. He's one of the best Finns that we've seen in a while. Just in comparison to what we've seen in the past, he was way better than Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who went 3rd overall last year. He was better than Patrik Laine and Jesse Puljujärvi, who were top 4 picks in 2016. The only 2 Finns to have had better U18 numbers than Kaapo Kakko in the Finnish Liga throughout the entire existence of the league, Alexander Barkov and Mikael Granlund. And we know how good those 2 players are. Kaapo Kakko played this most recent season with the TPS Turku in the Finnish Liga, where he got himself 22 goals, 16 assists, and 38 total points. He broke the record for most goals by a U18 player in this league. That was previously held by Barkov at 21 goals. Kaapo has 22. Over into total points, Kakko today is currently 10 behind Barkov in terms of the points race, and 2 behind Granlund for 3rd place overall. As you can see, all the guys underneath him, Patrik Laine, he was better than. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, he was better than. Jesse Puljujärvi, he was better than. And going over to the points per game, Kaapo Kakko is still up there as well. And Kaapo Kakko is legitimately closing the gap between 1 and 2 in this year's draft. But of course, you didn't really need me to tell that. You probably already know that, because everybody knows that. Everybody knows the star power that Kaapo Kakko brings to a team. He's under a point per game in the Finnish Liga. This is a pro league. It's got 18 to however old the oldest player in the Liga is. Year olds over there. And they're adults, they are fully professional players, and Kaapo Kakko is one of the best in this league, and he's really establishing a solid presence for the TPS Turku. He sits at 3rd in total points, tied for 3rd actually, and he leads the team in goals, which is really great. He's got 22, the next guy has 20. So going over to the rest of the Liga and taking a look at what he is, of course he's the best rookie, best 18-year-old in the Liga this season. Kaapo Kakko is actually 6th in Liga goals in its entirety. 22 goals is good enough to put him in the top 10, and he's number 6, so that's great too. Kaapo Kakko is listed as a right winger, and he spent a good amount of time on the right wing, but recently he moved over to center, which he has dominated in as well. He was really good in both roles, which is why, as a guy who is better than Laine, as a center, competing with Jack Hughes, who is also a center for 1st overall, and who is not as good as Austin Matthews was in his draft year, the gap between Hughes and Kakko is certainly smaller in my mind than the gap of Matthews and Laine. You could say what you want about the Matthews-Laine gap, you could say that Toronto was going to choose Matthews the entire time, but what if Laine was a center? Think of it like that. Kaapo Kakko in the context of this draft is like if Laine was a center and a better goal scorer and a better point producer. And Jack Hughes, in the context of this draft, is a worse Auston Matthews, who has a better passing ability, probably just by an edge better skating, and a worse goal scoring ability. So that's the impact that both of these guys are going to have. But for Kaapo specifically, having a Vancouver Canucks team draft Kaapo Kakko, it would just be so cool. We'd have that Finnish connection with Olli Juolevi and some other guys that we have in the system like Granlund, I guess, as well as Toni Uutinen too, so that would be cool. Kaapo Kakko, even though he is a right winger, he is a guy who could play center, so having him maybe in a top 2 center role with Bo Horvat on the third line, that would be incredibly stacked. I don't really see myself as being a big fan of that. I'd much prefer Kaapo Kakko, had he been drafted by Vancouver, to stick alongside the wing of Bo Horvat. Kaapo Kakko is a very physically mature and professionally sound player already, who has a nose for the net and has an ability to score at will. He can keep guys off of him with his big frame, 6'2", 190 pounds. He's solid in that respect. And he's so good at basically everything there is to be good at when it comes to hockey. But honestly, you don't really need me to tell you how good Kaapo Kakko is. The numbers speak for themselves, and that is why everybody has been hyped around Kakko, even as well as Jack Hughes. But for me here, I'm just making this video as a plea. Come on, give us a top pick. Tomorrow we'll do a why I want on Jack Hughes right before the draft lottery, maybe as a good omen or whatever, to the higher powers that be that translate into what happens in these lotteries. But please, Kaapo Kakko would be an amazing pickup for the Vancouver Canucks, especially if he takes on either a right wing role or if he moves over to the left wing. Seriously, if he's a right wing, he can stick alongside Bo Horvat for the rest of their careers. If he moves to the left wing, which, believe me, I think he probably can, like he's talented enough to do that, imagine sticking him with Pettersson and Besser. My goodness, that would be incredible. Kaapo Kakko is the culmination of a really strong hockey player, and having a guy like that alongside the playmaker sniper in Pettersson and the fantastic sniper in Besser, that would just be an amazing combo that would terrorize the league for years to come. We've seen a lot of Finns make huge impacts recently. Obviously, Alexander Barkov, probably going to be the Selke winner. We saw Mikko Rantanen really turn things up this year. We've been seeing Finns have their way with the NHL, and Kaapo Kakko is the next one in that wave. And if the Vancouver Canucks draft him, then I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic. First off, because we got a top pick. Second off, because he's the second best prospect in this draft. I think that Hughes is the better prospect, but I think Kakko is the better player now. Hope you guys enjoyed this miniature plusing that Trolls Ice 9 Gaming, and bye.